snake that can eat a man. I don't want to get involved with that part of it. Figuring he's really mad now. Oh man. Oh man. I don't actually want him to get to... that's exactly what I don't want to happen. You don't want a snake like this getting around you, especially around your neck.
Ever since I can remember, I've been interested in dangerous and exotic wildlife. But for the past 10 years or so, I've earned my living from photography. Traveling from my home in southern Africa to the ends of the earth to photograph some of the rarest and deadliest creatures in the world.
Wow, look what I got. A banded sea crate. That's an incredible snake. It's the most unusual snake. Not only are these snakes completely at home on land, they're just as at home in water. And if you look at his tail, you can see quite clearly he's got a specially flattened tail, which makes it very possible for him to swim at great speeds and at great depths. Very good swimmers, very agile under the water. These are highly venomous snakes. In fact, they're one of the most venomous snakes in the world. But few people ever come into contact with them. So we have very few bites ever recorded. Of course, they're venomous for one purpose only, to catch their food prey, which is usually fish or eels. And the venom is very toxic to those animals. But of course, obviously dangerous to humans as well. Isn't that a gorgeous snake? Just look at that. Oh, fantastic, man. It's such a pity that people are actually so nervous of snakes. Snakes fear people as much as people fear snakes, and mostly the snake is actually trying to get away. There are one or two exceptions though. There are a few snakes in the world that actually grow so large that they can actually constrict and swallow human beings. These giant snakes know no fear and could quite easily swallow a human being with no effort at all. So I'm going to catch one of these giant snakes. The best place I can possibly go is Borneo.
It's incredible to think that in the 21st century, there are still places on the planet that remain unexplored. I'm heading for one of the wildest and most remote areas of Borneo in search of the reticulated python, a giant among snakes. Cleverly camouflaged with a reticulated or net-like pattern of scales, this is the ultimate predator. I've tracked down and photographed hundreds of snakes, many of which could have killed me. But it's very unusual to come face to face with a snake that could actually swallow me whole. The reticulated python is unique. It's the longest and most powerful snake in the world. I suspected that the first stage of my journey was going to be the easy part. The Portuguese, the Dutch, and finally the British tried to tame Borneo. The British even built a railway, but they found the land too wild and difficult to cross, and they didn't get far. The Most explorers returned from Borneo with tales of wild tribes, headhunters, dragons, and giant snakes. I wondered how much of this was still true today. I was heading deep into the heart of Borneo, the largest island in the South China Sea. And where I was heading, there were no maps. Until Westerners arrived in the 19th century, the dense jungles of Borneo were inhabited by tribes who lived in isolated communities and had little contact with the outside world. The traditional dwelling is the longhouse, home to many generations of the same family. Built on stilts, away from the evil spirits that are thought to live in the ground, the raised longhouses also offered protection from animals and hostile tribesmen. Headhunting was once popular. The gruesome trophies were a sign of strength. The more heads displayed in a longhouse, the more it would be feared by the enemy.
Lorraine, how much?
20 ringgit.
Yeah, good.
Snake man.
Yeah, snake man, eh? You recognize that, eh? Yeah.
I wanted to catch a ride on one of the trucks heading out of the village. I just hope the driver's headhunting days are over. Of all the islands in the South China Sea, Borneo has the richest variety of snakes. There are more than 150 different species. But of all the different species, the one that is feared the most, the one that I have come in search of, is the reticulated python. These giant snakes are thought to reach lengths of 30 feet or more and are known to have killed and consumed human beings. I finally got my ride, but like everything in Borneo, it wasn't quite what I was expecting. The men on the ferry knew all about the reticulated python. Not so long ago, a 14-year-old boy had been eaten by one. People in Borneo have learned to live with snakes, and as I left the river, I was to have a chance encounter.
It's a little cobra, a little spitting cobra. They have this ability to spray venom, which is a lot more dangerous, and it's a defense mechanism.
My tongs are vital in situations like this, allowing me to handle dangerous snakes securely but gently.
He's actually quite young, so I could imagine he could actually spit about 2 meters, but it comes out in a spray. Covers your whole body. It's a neurotoxic venom they have, a nerve-destroying venom. It's very powerful. One drop into your bloodstream is enough to actually kill a human being. But as I say, spitting in the eyes, self-defense, okay, that could blind you, and that would be a problem. But he's such a tiny little guy, but he's so brave. Isn't that incredible? I mean, he's still very nervous. He bounces around all the time. Yeah, yeah. These snakes have got no ears. They don't hear airborne sounds. They've got internal ears. They can pick up vibrations, so he's very nervous. Their eyesight's not even that good, so the slightest movement attracts his attention.
Luckily, I was wearing my sunglasses, so my eyes were protected. To be safe, all I had to do was to remember to keep my mouth shut. Unfortunately, this is something that does not come naturally to me.
The venom's so potent, you would be in trouble. You don't want to get bitten by a cobra ever. Yeah, he's actually a well-behaved guy. He's just watching me. He doesn't want to waste his venom. He would rather get away if he could. He just warns me all the time. Well, you're so furious. He says, I'm just a teenager, man. I don't know how to handle this kind of stress. All right, I'm going to let him go. Okay, let's put him back where he was going. He was heading across the road. We'll just let him go further across the road. Well, I wasn't expecting